CNN and the rest of the mainstream establishment garbage media that nobody likes is repeating the woke dumb talking points on the DEI and the WHO, WEF, Davos, NATO, crap like that, and also the deportations. They won't actually tell you the truth of what's actually going on. And I always take what Trump says or any politician says with a grain of salt because you never know. And they just repeat it like it's nothing because it's just whatever, right? They don't give a damn. And Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden, all of these guys in 2012, 2014, 2015 said that sanctuary cities were a billionaire Koch brother scheme, meaning billionaires love sanctuary cities because they bring these illegal migrants into the country because they can pay them less. They can't unionize, they can't organize, so meaning they can't fight for better working conditions, better pay, better benefits, and better working environment. And number two, they like it because they like bringing illegals over here to work for them because they also can't organize and strike. Because then what they'll do is they'll call ICE, deport those people, send them back and send them back to their country, and then they'll bring in new illegal migrants who won't complain, who will just take the shit of the capitalists, the billionaire capitalists, even though it's illegal, but it doesn't matter. They're illegals. They don't have rights here. That's why the billionaires like it. And a lot of these places that hire these illegal migrants are construction sites, construction firms, and mega corporations. The Home Depots of the world, the Lowe's of the world, even though they support Trump, which is even funnier, even though all those guys bring in illegal migrants. And, Hostess and Lay's, those guys that Kellogg's, farms, meat packing plants, fruit labor, all these guys. They like hiring illegal migrants because they can make you work in 120-degree heat or 0 degrees below freezing or negative 55 degrees below freezing, and you won't complain. If you're in a desperate situation, you'll just do it. That's why they like bringing illegal migrants to work for them. They can pay them a lot less. They can threaten them with deportations, all of that. They don't have to pay you anymore when they can hire someone who came in illegally, $1 an hour, maybe even 50 cents an hour, and there you go. It never used to be like this. It actually used to be where if you worked at Sears or Target or Kmart or whatever was around in the 1980s, Walmart, and Costco, you actually got to make enough money to send your kids to college, save for your retirement, and buy a house and pay the mortgage off comfortably. And how wages were decided then is they were tied to a worker's productivity. So basically, workers kept getting raises because they kept producing more, and workers had more labor rights. And so they started to rebuild the middle class. But that stopped in, let's say, the 1980s, 1990s. Well, it got worse in the 1990s, and it's completely been exacerbated here in the 2000s and the teens and now the 2020s because of the billionaire capitalists that realized they could pay illegals less and pay and put us in poverty. And what did that do? Productivity kept going up and wages stayed flat. So with all of that, here is Dana Bash or Dana Bash, whatever. And she's a fucking liar. She's a goddamn liar. She lied about C-19. She lied about Russiagate. She and said it was real, and when it was a hoax, said the dossier was real and it's not. She lied and said the Ukraine war was what it was about, whatever it was about, said it was about peace, even though it wasn't. She lied about I'm pretty sure she would have lied about the Iraq war. I'm pretty sure she did. She lied about Syria. She lied about Libya. She lied about everything else. Here's Dana Bash, and she's going to get absolutely annihilated and destroyed by Tom Homan, Trump's new border czar, on immigration because they're lying to you about immigration too. And by the way, Al-Qaeda now runs Syria. There's an Al-Qaeda guy running Syria now because they overthrew Assad.
How many deportations do you think that you can carry out this year? Last year, for example, the Biden administration did deport about 270,000 people, which is the most since 2014. I know you said ICE has not been doing its job, but there have been a lot of deportations?
And by the way, he mumbles a lot. Tom Homan's like, borders, that's how he talks. Okay.
Going to happen coming up.
That is not accurate. The Biden administration is hiding the numbers. If you look at those removal numbers, over 80% were Border Patrol apprehensions on the border that were immediately removed. They weren't ICE removals. So if you look at what ICE has done into
what he's basically saying there is those are not actual ICE numbers. Those are people that were turned away at the border. They were turned away. No, you can't come in. Those aren't actually ICE deportations, ICE removals, ICE raids, nothing like that. But they're conflating the numbers on behalf of the Democratic Party and on behalf of Joe Biden, because Joe Biden wanted you to think, oh my God, I'm deporting all these people. He did it. Yeah, he deported a lot more people than Trump did, but he also conflated the numbers on purpose. And Dana Bash is just taking whatever the government gives her, shoves it in her face, and says, read it. And she just reads it like a good girl. Why did Biden conflate those numbers? Because he didn't want people knowing and being aware of the fact that he was flying millions of immigrants in here, or at least hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants into the country, putting them on planes and flying them to the country. He didn't want you to know that.
The United States, under 4 years of President Biden, they had the lowest numbers of removals in the history of the agency.
So under Joe Biden, under that awful woke ass administration, DEI driven administration, fucking bullshit, they had the lowest ICE removals in the history of their agency. So in all the history of the ICE agency, they had the lowest rate of removals. Okay.
Despite a historic illegal crisis on the southern border. So they can claim 277, 240,000, whatever removals. That's simply not the fact. And under the Trump administration, were there fewer removals? Yes. And why was that? Because we secured the border. We weren't releasing millions of people in the United States to have to go find and remove. So it doesn't matter how many people were deported, it's how many people were released in this country, and millions were released into this country by the Biden administration that were not released by the Trump administration.
I just want to be clear. I'm not.
Okay. There's a difference. They were closing the border, not allowing people in. Biden was releasing millions of people into the country. There's a difference.
Obviously, getting these numbers out of thin air. They are coming from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Agency.
So this is Dana Bash, who takes whatever the government gives her and never questions anything or everything the government ever says. She just takes it like a good little bitch, and she just does what she's told and says what she's told to say. Because this is the same person that lied to you and said that C-19 didn't come from a lab in China. She is the same person that said that the things that went on your face, Halloween masks, worked. She's the person that said that the thing that went into your arm actually worked and it stopped the transmissions. She's the same person that lied to you about Russia. She's the same person that lied to you about Ukraine. She's the same person that just kept lying to you. Same person. Because she lied on behalf of the government. I'm not gonna. I'm just saying I'm not gonna question the facts that have been given to me from my CNN producer, who was given to them by the CIA.
That they're giving us false information. They are coming from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Agency. You're saying that they're giving us false information?
Where do those?
Did you hear her? She literally said, "Oh, are you questioning the government? How dare you question the government? How dare you question the last administration? What? How could you?"
Those removals come from, and they're not interior ICE removals. 80% of those removals were arrested by Border Patrol. So ICE didn't make the arrest, Border Patrol did, and they were removed by ICE on the southern border.
Understood.
Oh, okay. Oh, thanks for that. I really appreciate that. I never looked into it. I got 100 producers and 800,000 interns, and none of us ever looked into it because we just took the talking points of the government and we never questioned it because we're owned by the government and my paycheck doesn't come from CNN. CNN gets that money from big pharma, the pharmaceutical industry, big healthcare, big health, big agriculture, the war industry, the arms industry, the military industrial complex, and BlackRock. And they give me my paycheck. So I got to say whatever the fuck they say. Same like Chris Cuomo, same like all these guys who questioned monoclonal antibodies, the same people that said you couldn't use anything else to cure yourself if you got that condition that we don't know what it is because I'm not going to say it out loud on YouTube because I could get banned or whatever. Yeah, same people. Okay, this is it. And she's not going to look into any of these facts. She's never going to question it. She's never going to go on Google and actually figure it out. She's never actually going to go to ICE and ask them because they're against ICE, which I am too. But regardless, right, they won't even talk to them except for, oh my God, you're raiding illegal immigrants' homes because they committed crimes. Why would you do that? That's all they do. And she calls herself a journalist. She's not a journalist. She's a freak show. She's a shit show. All of CNN is, which is why they keep firing and laying off hundreds of people because less people are consuming their content and buying their content, like their CNN streaming service, fucking bullshit. And they're not marketable anymore, so they have to lay off all these people because people know that they're not actually journalists. There's another thing too, the fact that he had to school her. He embarrassed her on live national television. It should be the other way around. You should be embarrassing the government guy. The government guy should not be embarrassing you. You should be the government watchdog. You should be the one they fear, not the other way around. And instead of going, wow, okay, well, okay, so they gave me this facts. Let's get your facts. Let's lay them out on the table for the people, and let's actually see who's right on this issue. Let's learn together. No, you're calling these people liars. Come on, man. They sent my paychecks. How dare you? Last thing on this, by the way, if you're wondering, why would Dana Bash be so anti-checking the government? Why would she not question the intelligence community? And you could say, well, she works for CNN. They never question the intelligence community. They just take what they say and go, okay, yeah, let's go overthrow Gaddafi because he's a bad guy. Oh, wait, now we created a slave state, a slave market. We created a terrorist vacuum there. Oh, let's go overthrow Assad. Oh, okay, now an Al-Qaeda guy runs it. Oh, okay, run Syria. Oh, let's go overthrow Saddam Hussein because he's a bad guy, a bad man, a dictator. Ooh, scary. Oh, look. Oh, wait, now it's a slave state. It's a terrorist vacuum. It's a terrorist market. Oh, wait, okay. So they're the guys, they're the ones that say that. But Dana Bash's husband is actually one of the 51 agents, Jeremy Bash, that said that the Biden laptop was shit, that it was Russian disinformation. That's who she is. That's who her husband is. The guy that said that the Hunter Biden story was a lie and that it had all the earmarks, the typical earmarks of Russian disinformation. So there you go. That's who she's married to. That's why she's a fucking cuck. That's why she's an establishment piece of garbage. And that's why nobody should ever trust the mainstream media. Subscribe to me and guys like Jimmy Dore and guys like Kid Cabello and guys like The Dive with Jackson Hinkle and all of those guys on Rumble and YouTube, because we're the ones that are actually going to tell you the truth. We're the ones that are actually going to tell you the truth. So, yeah, Dana Bash getting schooled by Trump's borders are amazing.